and at the same time we felt South Africa wouldn't get the runs required on that last day.
So the weather intervened, and disappointing for us. So we move on to Lords, which again is something that would be rammed down our throats from media people. You don't play well at Lords. Well, you've just got to forget that. That's our next game. That's where we play.
Okay, Alec, second test, you've won the toss, you're going to bowl.
Yep.
Well, it was actually quite a close decision what we were going to do in terms of either batting or bowling. Lord's test matches, or any wicket at Lord's, tends to go a little bit more up and down as the game goes on, and batting last against South Africa can prove to be a problem.
I think at the time the wicket had quite a bit in it. Spoke with some of the people, some like say Theo King, who's within the England setup, David Lloyd, and people who know those wickets, and we all believe that win the toss, bowl, and try and bowl them out for the lowest total.
Well, I wasn't too concerned. I knew it was going to do a little bit, but I always felt that the amount of movement early on the first day would be better to bat than probably on the up and down surface. We saw in 94 that the wicket got very much up and down, and we knew we had to get through that first session, but then we could cash in. But we just felt that if we could post a reasonable score above 300, we could have a good chance of winning the test match. So we were not concerned about batting first.
In Test cricket it's very difficult to put sides in and win. History will tell you that if in doubt, bat. So I think, no, it didn't really affect us because we were going to bat. We knew it was going to be tough early on.
Oh, that's out. Dragged it back on, that's a very good wicket. Gary Kirsten just trying to drag the bat out of the line of the ball. Dominic Cork had bowled well at him in the first over. That's beautifully bowled. What an over this has been. Jack Callis-Khan. Has he got it? Yes, that's taken. Alex Stewart completing the catch. And that's Dominic Cork's third wicket of the afternoon. Oh, well, of course. That is a good catch from Alex Stewart.
I thought they bowled tremendously well. You 40 for 4 and you drop a catch and you get a catch of the no ball. It could have been a lot different, 50 for 5, and then you're into the tail with the ball still new.
That's parried and down it goes. Michael Atherton, the man who tried to knock it up, he got a hand to it. It was flying towards him pretty quickly.
I think if you're an attacking player, when the team is 40 for 4, there's a lot more gaps because the opposing captains have got to have 3 slips in a gully, and the covers are pretty empty and short legs in, and so the mid-wicket area is also fairly empty. So the guys are trying to bowl you out, and if you're someone who's prepared to take on the bowlers, there's always opportunity to score runs. Obviously you've got to temper that with some discretion. You can't afford to lose another wicket at that stage, which the English team didn't seem to want to do when I got dropped and bowled quarter for no ball and whatever else happened, that happened. But it is obviously a tight situation, but it's a tough call for the opposing captain because obviously 50 for 5 is a great score. But if you keep too many slips in for too long, the game can get away with you, which Hansi and I batted really well for a period. We ran well, we scored the 4s off the bad balls, and all of a sudden we got ourselves out of trouble.
I thought what we did correctly in that test match was, even though we were under pressure, we tried to keep the scoring rate above 3 and over. It was up about 4 at one stage, which managed to keep enough close fielders out, and Alec had to defend quite a lot as well. So it took a lot of attacking fielders out of play, which was the correct thing to do.
At 46 for 4, we were in the box seat. Credit to Rhodes and the captain for the way they played. They took the attack to us a little bit. You say a little bit of fortune, a little bit of bad luck. Those things happen. Drop catch, a no ball catch. But they played well. We didn't quite stay on the ball and got punished for it. And with them getting 360, it was a top effort by them, and possibly 80 too many for us.
Nonetheless, it's enough to take Jonty Rhodes through to 100. 3 runs, that pull of the mid-wicket. He's reached what must be every visiting cricketer's dream. 100 at Lords, and none of those boys are going to begrudge him that. He's played beautifully for South Africa, both in the first test in Birmingham and now here at Lords.
Happy with the 360 after 40 for 4, and I felt it was not only a blessing in disguise that we were all out with 14 overs or 13 overs to go on the second day, but we thought about a declaration that night as well, to get them in and make sure we get a couple of wickets that night.
There goes the bouncer, awkward one for Alan Donald, who will not forget that when he has a go at Dean Headley later in the game.
Every fast bowler goes out there, and if you don't get bounced, you know there's something wrong. But he gave me a hurry up, and I was caught on the hop a little bit, and I had to sort of get myself going, and I think my concentration became far more greater, and I was really looking forward to getting out there, and it was a perfect time to bowl as well. 14 overs at the end of the day. And it really, myself and Sean ran in very hard, and we got 3 wickets at the end of the day.
The key to me was getting Atherton out. Sean Pollock bowled a terrific ball to him, bounced a little bit outside off stump and got him out, got the debutant out straight away, James, and also got Alex Stewart out. So it was 3 big wickets for us on the second day, and that set up the whole test match.
Oh, what a catch. What a magnificent catch. Boucher has caught some beauties here. He's dropped the ball occasionally, but that was a wonderful catch to get rid of Steve James.
That's out this time. Kept low as well. And Alex Stewart threw his head back in despair.
We were hoping the sun was going to shine the next day, because when the sun shines at Lords, generally it's good for batting. Unfortunately, it was overcast, and again the 2 of them came in very well and knocked us over.
It's a good over.
Well, I thought Donald and Pollock in particular were very good. Polly was a little bit unlucky. I thought he bowled magnificently. But often you bowl well at one end and the wickets fall at the other. But when you've got Donald and Pollock together, it's quite a nice partnership to have.
That is out. Ramprakash hasn't moved yet. Daryl Hare has raised his finger.
Not to avoid the follow-on, it was very disappointing. It's the first innings that generally set the tone of a game, and we were certainly struggling, 110 all out, and followed on, and obviously weren't quite up to it.
Alan Donald 5 for 25. He's bowled absolutely superbly.
Yes, he was simply magnificent, and the England batsman had no answer at all to a splendid exhibition of pace bowling and breathtaking fielding. Some wonderful stuff there.
That's out.
Regrettably, Steve James got out fairly quickly, and then we had a good partnership between Nasser and Athers, but again Athers' loss right before the end was a big blow to us, and obviously a bit of a bonus to them. So again, we're coming back Sunday, and you've got to bat 4 sessions, to even. We've got to get 400 even to set them 150. So the runs or the lack of runs in the first innings was always going to be telling against us.
Nice. Now that's a better looking stroke. Beautiful footwork, just got himself in the right position, kept it on the ground all the way out to the mid-wicket boundary. And just the occasional loose delivery coming in now, with this partnership flourishing. Well, he gave himself every chance there.
Nasser and Athers had played very well the day before. Then we carried it on. Nasser and myself carried on the next day. They took the second new ball, but we still managed to see that off. And then unfortunately all went pear-shaped after that.
Hussain goes to 97, and we're in the last over before lunch.
At lunchtime on day 4, there was a little bit of sort of concern in the dressing room, but we were still 50 runs or 40, 50 runs ahead with 3 wickets down.
Well, this will be interesting. He's got 2, and coming back for the 3rd, got to hurry now. Well done. Jubilation for Nasser Hussain. acclamation from the dressing room.
We just felt that, you know, take one or two, and they're still in deep trouble, and we just have to think that way, and that's what we thought all the time, and we managed to get the breakthrough straight after lunch, which was important for us, because guys were getting a little bit apprehensive about where this game was going.
But it does tend to create a slightly false illusion when two players are going so well, because one wicket can change the whole atmosphere. What we didn't expect was to lose as many wickets in such a short space of time.
Jacques Ellis obviously came on and was a fresh bowler, which was important for us, that one of the fresh bowlers, either him or myself, could come and take 1 or 2 wickets, and he managed to get 4.
Ball's hit the stump, and now he's out of BW.
Big shout, and that's out. Klusner does it. Well, that's a big wicket, and Nasser is saying not for the first time in this series, leaves the middle, shaking his head. Bowled him. Well, he's toyed with that Yorker. I think he's tried the Yorker so many times in this match. And that's the perfect ball. Oh, that's out. Little flick of the bat wide, and Callis has got him. Another amazing catch by Mark Boucher behind the stumps.
That is an absolute clinker.
It can happen. All we've got to do is make sure it doesn't happen again, or if it does, not too often. But obviously it's disappointing. Each batsman goes out there hoping to do well. When he pops back a few minutes later, it's not ideal.
Last ball of the over would have been, and in fact is, the last ball before tea. So they'll take tea now, and then South Africa just have a very tiny job to finish off this match. They needed only 8 balls to do it, and the winning run was made by Darrell Condon, who was standing in as opener for the injured Adam Barker. The England scored 264. At one stage there were only 3 double-figure scores plus sundries, and then the last pair, Robert Croft, finished with 16 not out, and Angus Fraser 17. It was a nice partnership, and it made certain that South Africa had to bat again. There were some outstanding performances in the South African side, but it was Jonty Rhodes who was named man of the match.